Hey there, Saki here from Saki Tech, and in today's video, I'm going to give you over 50 plus tips, tricks, and features for the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Whether you want to own this phone or want to know everything it is capable of, this is the video to watch to discover all the deep and rich features of this magnificent smartphone. So let's dive right in and master this device. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the secure folder. So secure folder basically locks away your private content. Now, there's a certain way it actually works, and let me do a very clear demonstration so you understand how the secure folder actually works. It's not as easy as simply dragging and dropping applications into the secure folder. So for example, let me launch the camera right over here, and let me put something back here, and let's take a quick picture. Now, as you can see, I launched that camera using the regular camera icon that is not in the secure folder. So when I launch Gallery, that picture that I just took is right there. Okay, so anybody can see that. However, if I want to take a secured picture, what I have to do is I have to go into secure folder, and from here I have to launch the camera, and then let's just move this over here a little bit and take another picture. Now this picture, because I launched the camera application from the secure folder, is in fact a secure picture. So let me go back out and go into the gallery application. That's the regular gallery application, and you can see only the first picture that I took is showing, where this box in the back was on this side. Okay? But if I want to see the picture that I took securely, I would have to actually go into the secure folder and launch the gallery app from there. And in here, I'm going to have these other pictures that were taken securely. So secure folder basically separates what you do inside it from the outside. Okay? So one more time, if you take a picture using this camera icon, anybody can see it. But if you take a picture by using the camera app in here, it's going to be secure. So let's say you don't want people to access secure, you simply click lock on the top, okay, and that locks the secure folder. So now, if I do want to go in there, I would have to actually put my pattern lock. Of course, you can use your irises, you can use a fingerprint sensor, you can use a regular password, you can use whatever you want. And if you want to do so, all you do is you go into the settings, you go to lock screen and security, and you go into the secure folder, and from here you can tweak all the various options that are available for the secure folder. So on the top here, as you can see, you can change the lock type. If I tap this guy, it's going to ask me to put my pattern lock in here, which I set up recently. But as you can see, you can use a PIN number, you can use a password, fingerprints, or whatever you need to do. And from here, if you want people to not even know that you have a secure folder, you can actually hide the secure folder. So let's hide the secure folder, click OK, go back out, and as you can see, that secure folder has disappeared, so nobody even knows that you have it. If I want to re-enable it, I go back into settings, go to lock screen and security, go to secure folder, and basically just unhide it. Alrighty? And then anytime you want to actually lock the secured folder, and by the way, when you unhide the secured folder, it goes back into your apps drawer. You simply have to drag and drop it back into where you want to put it on the home screen. But anytime you get out of the secure folder, I highly recommend that you click the lock icon, because as it is now, this thing is not locked. Anybody can access it. So I can tap, my friend can tap it, and boom, he's got access to all the secured information. What you have to do is click the lock icon and make sure it says secure folder locked. Now here's something pretty amazing that I totally was not expecting. So as you know, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, when you purchase it, comes with a USB connector. Now this connector plugs into the USB Type-C port on your Note 7, and then you can plug in a regular USB cable into it. Now when you plug one end of the cable into this connector and the other end of the cable into a phone, such as that Samsung Galaxy S7 that is sitting right next to my Note, the Note 7 actually starts to charge the S7. And you will even get a status message that says supplying power via USB. Now using this method, you can charge any phone on the planet. You can charge an LG phone, you can charge an HTC phone, or you can charge an iPhone with a lightning cable. Not only that, you can actually attach a USB flash drive to your Samsung Galaxy Note 7 and transfer files back and forth. My mind is simply blown away. Let's move on. Alright, next up, let's talk about the iris scanner. Let's go ahead and set our irises up so we can use our eyes to unlock our device. The first thing you want to do is go into the settings and go into the lock screen and security and tap on screen lock type. Tap this and then click irises, and that's going to tell you that if you want to use the irises, your eyes, to unlock your screen, first you have to set a pattern, PIN, or a password. Just click OK to that and then go to pattern. I'm just going to use pattern for demonstration. Use this option right over here. Click continue. Use it one more time. Confirm it. And from here it's telling me get ready to unlock your device with a glance. So let's click continue. And they want you to take your eyeglasses off, or contact lenses if you have any. And basically what you want to do is you want to look into the scanner. After it reads your eyes, it tells you success, and then you can click through these things and click OK. So now let me quickly demonstrate how the iris scanner works. So let's turn off the phone, turn it on, swipe, and then they want you to look into the iris scanner, and as the moment it recognizes your eyes, it unlocks the screen, and as you can tell, it was super fast. And of course, once you set up your irises as a security type, you can go into this other option over here, go into irises, and from here you would have to put your pattern to unlock it, and you can use your eyes to actually web sign in into the web browser. Okay, now this only works with the web browser that came with the phone and not the Chrome browser. You can also use your eyes to verify your Samsung account. Alrighty. And of course, you can unlock the device using your irises. So you have three options using your eyes as far as security goes. The other thing is you can do a mask on preview screen. You can choose one of these masks to show up when you're prompted to scan your eyes. So if I choose this guy right over here, if I shut the phone and turn it on, swipe it, now as you can see, you simply have to put your eyes somewhere over here. So let's just unlock it, but that's an option you have. I do like customization tactics like this. And I quickly want to share one of my most favorite tips. Basically, when you create a folder on your Samsung home screen, this is a home screen right here. So to create a folder, you just drag one app and you drop it on the other one. Okay. From here, you can quickly change the color of that folder. Okay. So you can have a green color for some folders, and I can have red for the others, or maybe blue for the others. So that allows me to color code my folders, but that simply gives me another layer of customization that I've come to enjoy a lot. And one more thing that is not quite important, but you can actually grab the secure folder and put it within another folder. Okay, so it doesn't have to be up front so everybody can see it. You can actually hide your secure folder inside another folder that you just created. All right, next tip. So let's take a look at this next tip that I really like. If you go into the settings, and if you scroll down to cloud and accounts, if you go in, you can then tap backup and reset. And over here we have a new feature. It's called auto restart. So basically what you can do is you can have your phone automatically restart at a given date and time on a schedule as you please. The benefit of this is going to be that your phone is going to be running smoothly. As you know, you have to restart your phone every now and then for optimum performance. So let's enable this, and after you enable, tap here and you can go inside, and from here you can pick the time and the day. So you can choose it to be every Monday, which is not a problem, and the time can be at night time when you're actually sleeping, so it happens in the background, and it only happens when these conditions over here are met. Okay, so if you want to activate this, make sure you do so. It's going to make sure that your phone runs faster. Alright, so now I want to talk about the S Pen and some of the newer features that we have on the Air Command menu. So the first thing I want to show you guys is not about the Air command, it is about the S Pen. Let's go into the settings, and to access the S Pen settings you have to go into the advanced features. If you tap it, you can go to S Pen, and there's a whole slew of options here. What I'm going to do is, for a minute, I'm going to go into the Air command, and I'm just going to talk about the floating icon. If you enable the floating icon, what happens is you have a small little icon that just hovers on the screen and you can move it around, which if you tap on it brings up the Air command menu. So let's enable this, and then let's just bring up the Air command. Normally what you do is you can press this button on the S Pen to bring up the Air command, but when you exit, this floating icon remains. And then you can take that icon using your S Pen and you can move it around to a more convenient location, and then when you want to bring up Air command, you simply tap on it. Alrighty, now I don't personally like this, but I just wanted to show it to you guys. So let me disable this. Every time I want to bring up the Air command, I simply click the button on the S Pen. It is just more tactile and lovely. So now let's talk about the Air command. Now with the Air command, you can create shortcuts, and they're right over here. But there's another way to access this screen, and I prefer that method. So let's bring up the Air command and click settings, and that takes you directly into the same menu I just showed you. When you click shortcuts, you can add up to 6 shortcuts to your Air command. You can either have S Pen features or you can have apps and functions. Okay, so if I didn't want the magnify feature, I can tap that red icon, remove it, click calculator, and now I have that in my Air command menu. Let me show you really quick. So as you can see, I have quick access to my calculator right over here in my Air command menu for quick access. Anyway, let me edit that because I want to show you how magnify works. So let's go into the settings, go to shortcuts, remove this, and put magnify back there. Okay, go back out. Now let's see what magnify looks like. When you click magnify, it allows you to magnify parts of the screen onto which you hover your S Pen. So let's say I hover my S Pen right here, it's magnified. At the bottom, wherever I go, it's all magnified. You do have a small menu up here which allows you to change the size of the magnification up to 300%. Let's do 250% and try this one more time. As you can see, that's much bigger. Now they were nice enough to allow you to move this thing if you want to, so you can move it if you grab those bars, or when you're done with magnification, you simply click X and you're done. So that's one of the new features on Air command. The other one is the glance feature. So tap on glance, it's not going to work because you have to have an app to glance at. So let's launch an application. Let's bring up the Air command menu and let's tap on glance, and then as you can see, that application was minimized, and when you hover your S Pen over it, you can glance into that application. Not bad at all. Now when you want to get rid of this application, you simply go into the multitasking pane and you exit that application, and glance for that application disappears. The next thing I want to talk about, let's go back into the Air command, and we have the translate feature. So when you tap on translate, again, you get a bar on the top and it shows you it's going to translate from this language, English, to this language, which is Turkish. So if I go into Google Chrome, there's a word right here, and if I were to hover my S Pen over this word, it actually translates that picture into Turkish, which is resim. Alrighty, so that's the translate. Now let's get out of here for a minute. That menu remains atop unless you click X. That's how you deactivate this translate feature. But if you want to use different languages, you just tap on this language, which is the from language, pick another language, and you can do this language, and then you can convert that to some other language that you want. You can move this around if you want, and when you're done, you click X and you can move on. Let's keep going. So if you go back into Air command, you also have the screen right, which takes a screenshot of the screen that you were looking at when you pressed that button, the screen right button. After that, you can write on the screenshot if you want. And when you're done editing this thing, you can crop it you can share this with your friends on Facebook, messages, emails, Twitter, wherever, and then or you can save it into your gallery. Click save and it's gone. So that's screen right. It allows you to take a screenshot and even edit that screenshot. All right, let's go back in. And now we are going to take a look at Smart Select. Tap it. You have 4 options. You can pick specific areas of the screen and save them into your gallery. So if I was to, let's say I want to create a circular screenshot, I can pick this area right here, and then I can draw in this area, I can share this specific picture, or I can save it in the gallery application. If I go into the gallery application, you will see that selection right over there. Fantastic, right? And also, if you go back into Air Command, and if you click Smart Select, you also have this animation option right over here. This animation option allows you to create GIFs. So they're animated pictures. So you select an area that you were looking at. It could be a video playing in the background. You can select the quality of the animation. You can do standard quality. And you can start to record that area. And you can go up to 15 seconds. And once you're done recording, you press stop. And then again, you can draw on this, you can share it, or you can save it. And that's absolutely fantastic. And then finally, let's bring up the Air Command menu one more time. On the top, you have Create Note. If you click it, it goes into your Notes application. And from here, you can simply start writing and saving your notes. And there's a lot of stuff you can do here, but I do want you guys to go in there and explore these options yourself. So that's the Air Command menu. It's customizable. You can have that floating icon if you want to, and you can have up to 6 total shortcuts on it. Now that's not everything you can do with the S Pen. So let's go back into the settings. Let's go back into advanced features, tap on S Pen, and you have all these other things apart from the Air Command. Now here's the one that I really like, detachment options. So basically, what do you want happening when you pull your S Pen from your phone? You can either have the phone launch the Air Command automatically when you pull the S Pen out of your phone from the bottom here, or you can actually create a note, or you can have it do nothing. So you pull the pen out and nothing happens. Alrighty? And the other option I love is the S Pen alerts. Always make sure this is enabled. So if you leave your S Pen on the table and you grab your phone and you walk away, your phone is going to start beeping to tell you that you forgot your S Pen in the background. And you do not want to lose the S Pen for no reason, obviously. And of course, at the bottom, you have 2 more options. You've got the S Pen sound and S Pen vibration. So do you want the S Pen to make a sound when you launch it from when you pull it out from your phone, and when you write on the screen? Do you want a writing sound effect? Also, do you want the S Pen to vibrate? Do you want the phone to vibrate to tell you that you just pulled the S Pen out of your phone? So these are just nice little feedback options. Now, if you go back up here, we have something called Air View and Direct Pen Input and Pointer. So the pointer basically is this thing right here. So if I hover the S Pen over the screen, you'll see a pointer. If I click that, it's gone. You're not going to see the pointer. Some people like this, some people don't. I like it. I like to know where the S Pen is pointing at a given moment. Now the Air View is basically, if I go into gallery, just one example, and if let's go into the basic gallery, I can hover over objects and I get little previews for them. Okay, I don't have to tap on them, I just hover over them, and that's the Air View preview. Okay, again, you can turn this off, turn this on, and even go in and get some more information. You can do this on a lot of different places. You can do it in the calendar application, the gallery application. You can do this to scroll up and down, and also you can hover your pen over links, hyperlinks, and it's going to preview the website. And finally, direct pen input. As long as this is enabled, what you can do is, just to give you an example, let's go to Chrome. Let's say you want to write something, but you want to use your S Pen to write it on. So you hover it over the screen, it brings up that tiny symbol that you tap. There we go. and then you can start writing with natural handwriting, and it's going to convert that into regular type. So if I type in W, it's going to convert that into a regular W. So that is direct pen input. You can use your handwriting to write stuff. And of course, if you pull out the S Pen from your device, when your device is locked, it brings up the screen memo onto which you can start writing immediately. And then you can quickly save this if you so desire. And this is great if you're walking down the street and you saw something and you want to take a quick note, but your phone is in your pocket. So you pull the phone out, you don't turn it on, you just pull the S Pen and you start to write on the screen and click save, and you have a quick note immediately. Now the great thing is, even there is a function that can be enabled or disabled. So if you do go back into advanced features, if you do go back to S Pen, over here it says screen off memo. So if you disable this, screen off memo is not going to work. I like it, so I'm going to keep it enabled. One more thing I want to show you guys is the new notifications panel. If you scroll down a little bit, it looks almost the same, and there's a lot of things you can do here that you could have done before as well. But this time, as you can see, each one of these guys have a small arrow pointing downwards. And if you press that, it brings up an extended menu that you can modify. When you're done, you can click done. So over here, let's take a look at the power saving. So we have a bunch of options here. If you tap it, it brings up 3 options to extend your battery life. You can choose the mid-level or the maximum level, or you can keep it off. Now this is actually, there's more to this power savings mode than it appears here. I'm going to go back and take a look at that in a minute. For now, let's go back out here, and again, as I said, here's the Wi-Fi. If I tap it, you get more options. You have all these other Wi-Fi channels you can connect to. You can also always click more settings. That takes you into the full details settings menu. Okay, so you can do a lot just by sitting over here, but you can always go into the full details if you please. And if you can tell, over here you have a search device function, and again you can search your device right through the notifications panel, which is fantastic. And if you look over here, it says something, the tip is right in front of your eyes. It says touch and hold the quick setting button to edit the quick settings panel. So if I touch and hold right over here, as you can see, I get these options. Drag the quick setting buttons to reorder them. So I can take the Wi-Fi and I can put it right over here, or I can take this guy and I can put it right over here, and at any given time I can have 15 quick toggles right over here. When I'm done reordering these, I can click done, and just make sure that you press and hold and you reorder them in the order of importance in which you'll be using these guys. Okay? And a new quick toggle that I've never seen before on a Samsung Galaxy Note is the blue light filter. So basically, if you tap this, it allows you to turn on the blue light filter, and basically describes exactly what that does. It reduces the eye strain by limiting the amount of blue light emitted by the screen. So if I click this, as you can see, and I can change the intensity to whatever I please, and that will allow you at nighttime protect your eyes from overstraining. And of course, we have the always on display. So if I go into the settings, and again, if I go into the display, you have the always on display that you can enable. Let's enable that. Once you enable this, you can go in and you can pick any layout that you please. So let's tap on layouts. So you have all these options, and you can do clocks, you can do calendars, or you can do images. Let's look at images. You have a couple options over here. Let's go back into clocks, and you can actually show notifications if you choose the clock or the calendar, but if you choose images, you cannot see notifications. You'll just see the images. So let's just pick any clock. This one looks nice, and that's what it's going to look like. You can change the color. You can do red. You can change the background to something nicer. Click apply. And when I turn off my device, when I turn it off, boom, you've got the always on screen. Now this does eat some extra battery, so if you're a battery freak, I recommend that you do not keep this on all the time. Now if you are a battery freak, but you're also somebody that loves this feature, you can actually set a schedule. So instead of having this run all day long, you can choose the time from when it starts to the time when it ends, or if you don't care, you can just set it for all day. Now, I don't like this feature that much. It does eat battery, so I'm just going to keep it off. And while we are in the display options, let me show you this one more thing over here. It's called the easy mode. Right now we are in standard mode, which is in fact, this mode is the standard mode. Let's go back out for a minute. Display, easy mode, and tap on the actual easy mode. Click done. And as you can see, your phone has converted from something that was more advanced to something very simple. All the basic things are right here. You can add more icons, you can go into more apps, but it's really, really basic and to the point. You cannot customize, you cannot add widgets, you cannot do any of that. When you're done with the easy mode, go into the settings, go to display, go to easy mode, and go back into standard mode, which obviously everybody enjoys more than the easy mode. Another feature, if you go into the messages application, you can do some customization. Let's go into one of these messages, and as you can see, you have a dull white background. What you can do is you can go into the main messaging application screen, click this icon, click settings, go to backgrounds, and pick a different background, and that's what it's going to look like. You have a bunch of options over here. You have this guy, this guy, this guy. You can even add a picture from the gallery if you have a picture, okay? So this is very customizable. So once you're done, you go back out. Now when you go into the messages, it's not so boring. And of course, a few quick tips on the camera. If you launch the camera, if you go into the settings, over here you have what is called quick launch. And I'm sure a lot of people know this already, but if you don't, you can quickly launch from your camera at any time, even if your phone is off, if your phone is on, simply by double pressing the home key. Double press, boom, camera is right here. So if you go into settings, it's called the quick launch option, and make sure this is enabled. It's very convenient to double tap the home screen and take a picture on the go. And here's one of my absolute favorite tips, voice control. So if you enable this, and if I go back to camera, I can say things like smile, capture, and that takes a picture. Alrighty, that's fantastic. And of course, always make sure the grid lines are enabled, because if you're not enabled, it's kind of hard to align pictures. So let me grab one of these guys and put it right here. And as you can see, you have a 3x3 grid, and that allows you to better align pictures when taking photos. So let's go into the power management. Let's go into these settings. And let's go into device maintenance, and you get this nice little interface. Let's go to battery first and foremost. It tells you how much is used, what's the estimated battery life, and here's a beautiful power savings mode. It's currently off, but let's tap on mid and see what happens. Look at this. It limits the maximum brightness of the screen to 90%, and it changes the resolution of your screen to full high definition, which is 1080p. So as you know, your phone by default has a quad HD resolution, which is 1440p. It's the sharpest you can have on a phone. But when you want to save battery, you can switch it to full high definition, which is 1080p, and that's fantastic. So if I click apply, everything is going to change, and now I'm going to be able to have more battery life, and my phone is going to last longer. And also you can do maximum, and here your phone actually transforms to 720p, okay? And the maximum brightness is 80%. The good news is, as you play with these settings, you can customize them. And to customize them is very easy. There we go. Not bad at all. So let's go to off. We don't want full high definition, we want quad HD for maximum sharpness. And of course, right in the battery management screen, you have some other options. You can tap on battery usage, and that tells you how basically gives you some statistics on how your battery is being used. So the recent battery use, the battery usage data is not available because I just recently got this phone, but this will tell you which app is using most of your battery. Let's go back over here for a second. You can tap this. you can go to notification settings, you can go to advanced settings. From here, you can put unused apps to sleep, okay? You can also disable and enable the fast cable charging. I don't know why you would want to disable this, but you have the option, and you can also kill the percentage on the status bar. Over here, it says 62% battery. If I click this, that number is gone. So you just see the battery icon. Alrighty, I like to have it. So let's go back. Those are the advanced options. And next up, let's go back into device maintenance. Take a look at the storage. Tap storage, and from here you get a snapshot of what's going on. I have 14.2 gigs that I'm using, and the remaining is free for me to use. I can clean some cache files. That's going to give me 253 megabytes. Let's click this. It says cleaning the device storage. Done. Beautiful. I have 253 have been cleared. So that's the storage management screen. Now back in the storage, at the bottom here, you get some more details. So you can look at the documents, images, audio. If I tap on these, it will show me the images, and I can delete the ones I don't want. But it gives you a snapshot of what portion of your phone is using most data. And as you can see, apps are 63 megabytes in apps, which is nothing right now, but later it will be very useful to look at these statistics. And if I tap this, you have some storage settings. From here, again, it gives you a different kind of view. 14 gigabytes is being used. And here's the available space. Here's the system memory that's being used. And if I go back down here, I can click Explore, and that is the hidden file explorer that comes with most Android phones. You can use this to simply browse through the file system of your Android device. All right, so let's go back. Go back into the device maintenance screen. We looked at battery, we looked at storage. We can look at RAM, and from here you can even clear some of your RAM. So if I tap this, it's going to start to clear my RAM, and that's going to actually boost the performance of my phone. Beautiful. Let's go back. And finally, device security. It says your device is secure, but this is a nice little management screen, and it's in the settings under device maintenance. Tap it, battery, storage, RAM. Beautiful. Now here's one of my absolute favorite features that I share every single time. If you go into the settings, and if you go to advanced features, and if you tap on one-handed operation, you have two options. You can reduce the screen size by triple tapping the home key button right here, and you can also use one-handed input. Let's enable both and see what they look like. First, let's do the reduce screen size. Let's say you want to use your phone with one hand. It's really hard to have your thumb reach all the corners of the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. So triple tap, 1, 2, 3, and boom, now you get a smaller screen. You can left justify this or right justify this based on which hand you're holding your phone with. And from here, you can fully use your phone as if it was a small, tiny phone. When you're done, return to full screen. Now, what's the other option? So the other option we looked over here, let's go to advanced features, one-handed operation, one-handed input. Let's just launch the calculator, just out of curiosity. If I launch it, as you can see, the keyboard itself has become smaller. So this allows you to have the full screen, but you can use the tiny portion of the screen to put numbers or keyboard or whatever you need to put in. But this is much easier to use as opposed to the big keyboard, because then your thumb can't reach all the areas. If I go to Chrome or Messages, the keyboard is going to be the same thing. Left justified or right justified. Again, it's very easy to type using this method. A couple other things you can do is you can modify your lock screen. So if I go into my lock screen, as you can see, I have a little thing here that says Saki Tech, and I got 2 app shortcuts. I can change these. So let's go back over here, go into the settings, go into the lock screen over here, and from here, simply go to Info and App Shortcuts. If I tap this guy, owner information, you can type anything you want. Saki Tech Hi, okay? And the app shortcuts, you can have any app you want. So on the left side, I want to have the browser, On the right side, I want to have the email functionality. So when I turn the phone off now and turn it on, it says Saki Hi, and over here you have Chrome, over here you have the email. Fantastic. Now back in the settings, when you go into lock screen and security, there's something here that I really love, and it's very useful and practical. It says, do you want your notifications to show on the lock screen? You can say yes, but you can modify it. So if I go in here, you can actually hide the content. So you can still get the notification that you got a text message, but it doesn't show you who sent the message, or it doesn't give you a preview of that message. So as you can see, I have mine enabled. Enable, disable, hide content. Fantastic. And of course, you can individually disable notifications from any app you please. So if you don't want notifications from the Amazon app, just turn it off and you will never get notification from that app on your lock screen. And of course, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 also comes with Edge functionality. So you have these Edge panels that you can add onto your Samsung Galaxy Note 7, and you can customize each of these panels to have some really nice and useful information at your fingertips just by sliding in from the corner right over here. And what I did was, I have a video that goes into the full details of the Edge panels, how to add them, how to customize them on a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, and that video is in the description below. It's the exact same functionality on both phones. So if you want to master the Edge panels, these guys right over here, go watch that video right now. Well, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to Saki Tech and give this video a thumbs up. Also, follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Saki Tech Online, for which links are in the description below. Have a fantastic day.